Hello everybody, welcome to this chess endgame review featuring a position with Rook versus Knight here. So take a look at the position. What do you think is going on here? White is ahead in material, but how does he win this position? What does he do here to break through Black's defense and go in for the win? Pause the video if you need more time. Otherwise, I will reveal the analysis and the lines here. Okay, so obviously white is winning here, but how does he go about getting the win? All right, so one possible way is king to f4 here, and then if black just keeps his king up there behind his knight, a possibility is rook to h8 check, king moves, and now we have a pin on this knight. And so if the king moves again, now we have a capture. And so white has given up his rook, but his king comes up here and obtains the diagonal opposition, forcing black's king to give ground. But if the king comes forward like this towards white's king, or I should say to the side towards white's king, then white just grabs the opposition again. And then if he comes up here, we have king to g6 where he outflanks black, and black cannot stop white by moving to e6 because this pawn covers that. So the king must give ground, and then white can move in and go after this pawn here. And if black tries to defend, white grabs the opposition again, pushing this king away and takes the pawn. And then from here, if black tries to grab the opposition here, it does not work because white's king is in front of his pawn. And so he just moves to the side. And if black tries to keep the opposition, the game would continue like this. So now the pawn will squeeze the black king off to the side, and white's king can come up here and guard the queening square. And then we have queening, and white would win from this position. And so if we go back and take another look at this position, another option for white would be, instead of moving his king to the king side, he could have played king to d4 instead. And then maybe the game would continue in this fashion. Capture on that side. Now white swings around on the queen side here. And he goes after this pawn once again and chases the black king away. And also, once again, when black tries to gain the opposition, because the white king is in front of the pawn, it does not work. So the pawn can just move forward, squeezing out the black king away from the queening square. And then once he moves, white can jump up here guarding the d8 queening square, and there's nothing black can do. And then we have a pawn promotion to queen again here. And one other possibility to show you that was kind of interesting is if we go back to the white king moving to the king side here. And then, let's see, in this game, we played king to d8, just moving up here. But what if the knight would have jumped out with check here? Well, then the game could have taken a different twist, attacking this knight. And if the knight tried to jump to e5 here, we have a rook check. The king would move, and now white would be able to jump in here and go after this pawn. And so after a knight move, capture the pawn. And so white would just be winning here. The game may continue with these moves, but the pawn would jump up here, attacking the king, and then white's king would move up. And now we have a position where the black king is stalemated here. And so black is just completely in trouble. If he moves his knight, then white wants to make sure he does not go to rook to h8, where it would just be a stalemate. Well, actually, no. Yes, sorry. It would be a stalemate position because the pawn and the king are blocking any escape of this black king. And if white moved his rook up here to h8, it would pin the knight, so black would have no legal moves. So the right thing here is to move rook to g7. And now the only move available is for this knight to move out of the way. If he takes the pawn, we would just have a capture and a winning position. But one option is, well, I'll show you this. If he takes the pawn, we have this, that, blocking, the check, and then just a checkmate here. So that is one possibility there. Let's see, if the knight does not capture the pawn, what are his other options? He can't move to h7, can't move to g6, or he'll just be captured. But white has to be careful not to capture, because of that stalemate threat. So let's see carefully. If we look at this, whatever this knight does, rook to g6 here, or sorry, g8 must be played with check. So if we look at the evaluation, knight to e6, g6, wherever this knight moves, except for the capture here. Let's say he goes here. No matter what happens, he's in trouble. He could just go there, and then a block, and then a mate. So anyway, with rook versus knight, especially if there are pawns involved as well, the side with the rook should be able to win in the position, but it depends where the pawns are located, and if the king after an exchange can get the opposition and move up to help promote his pawn. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that endgame demonstration of rook versus knight. And if you've enjoyed it, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, Nick Butts Chess, where you may enjoy more videos. Thank you, everyone. Also, feel free to leave comments or suggestions. Have a great day.